These things have always been here. The Indians in America here called it the thunderbird, a huge bird. In the Orient, they called it the Garuda.
You can go all the way back to 1880 when a strange flying man was seen over Coney Island, New York. The Houston Batman of the 1950s. Rio Grande, 1976 is one case. Right now, you've got a wave of thunderbird sightings in Pennsylvania. And so Mothman, if you look at it in context, is not that unusual, but what makes Mothman so interesting and really exciting is that you have over 100 witnesses saying they saw it in one concentrated area in 13-month period.
This small, unassuming southern community has recently become the site of some rather unworldly reports.
3 boys last night near Glen, West Virginia, in Clay County, witnessed what they describe as a weird and perhaps unearthly, unidentified flying object.
But perhaps the most intriguing of these reports surrounds the appearance of a mysterious moth-like creature.
John, can you tell me what happened last night?
We got around and we thought it was a car light. So we stopped the car and the thing came over top of the car. I'd never seen anything like that before.
Mrs. Payne's daughter saw the object actually land, didn't you?
All of a sudden it just, just sort of sank right into the trees, and it kind of moved around a little, and then it looked like, it's trying to get away.
It can be seen from a distance within the treetops. However, search parties have been unable to find it.
A local Cherokee man was being driven home by his son when they encountered the Mothman. They sped up and started making sharp turns to shake the animal. But the beast pursued them undeterred.
The first thing we saw was this winged creature, 14-foot wingspan at least. It was huge. It was almost covered half the road.
When the car slowed down, the monster attacked the vehicle.
And it was close enough for me almost to reach out and touch. It almost hit the windshield.
The terrifying encounter gave the man a clear look at the monster.
It had a wide mouth. The eyes were the size of the reflectors that are alongside the road. The body was attached to the wings. It had gray and brown hair-like, but not much hair. More fleshy, kind of like a bat. That's why I called it a man bat, because it looked like a cross between a man and a bat.
We couldn't believe what we really saw. And this thing was standing there, but it had a body just like a man. You could see the muscles in its legs. We sit there for a minute and looked at each other, and then we took off.
And they get scared, and they want to get out of there. And all of a sudden, they're taking off. They're going anywhere from 100, 120 miles an hour. And they notice that this creature is following them. And they can see it through the back window. A shadow, is going across the car once in a while. And they can't get away from it.
We didn't really talk about it or anything. But we saw it all the way down the road into town. It followed us.
They couldn't get away from it until they almost got to the edge of Point Pleasant.
I told him I didn't want to see any lights, and he says, no, stop. He said, you got to look at this. This isn't a plane. And I said, oh, sure, And I just kept on walking towards the car.
She was carrying her daughter when suddenly a figure stirred nearby.
I had just approached the car, and out of the corner of my eyes, I saw this creature, which was over 6 foot tall with feathers. It just looked like a giant bird, but yet a man. And it was standing with its shoulders and then its neck down in like this. I just couldn't imagine what I was seeing and panicked. And when I tried to run, I couldn't run.
Through the winter of 1966, sightings of the creature known as the Mothman continued to be reported around Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Not only were eyewitnesses terrified and emotionally disturbed by their encounters, but some were even physically affected, exhibiting strange burns on their skin and inflamed, swollen eyes.